Some snake hunting at its bougiest best.
I'm here at a house that some friends of mine have rented.
Okay. What are you doing, brother?
We're on the coast of Georgia, and it is absolutely beautiful here. Weather's perfect, and this is such a great place to come and just get away and relax, and you can do that here, but that is not why we're here. We are here specifically to go look for snakes, but not just any snake. We're looking for the Eastern Diamondback Rattlesnake. I own Eastern Diamondback Rattlesnakes. I can see one anytime I want, but that's not the point. There's nothing like seeing one in its natural habitat in the wild. Any rattlesnake we find, I'll be happy with. Hopefully we at least find one. Now, and we're not just looking for rattlesnakes. Any snake we find will be fine with me, but the Eastern Diamondback is our target species. So tonight, we're just chilling out, we're just relaxing, and in the morning we're gonna get up and go meet the boat captain. He's gonna take us out to a couple different barrier islands. You really have to kind of know where to go to really maximize the potential of finding a rattlesnake. Hopefully this trip will not disappoint me. We have met up with the boat captain and we're on the way, and the water's a little rough. Now, even with water like this, I have caught Eastern Diamondback rattlesnakes in this brackish water before as they swim back and forth to the barrier islands. These islands, they have nothing on them. So we've brought water and food and first aid kits and two-way radios. And we also have cell phone service here, which is good in case we need to call for help. God forbid somebody gets bit. But he's going to drop us off here and then leave. And then when we're ready for him to come back and get us, we're going to call him, and he's going to come back and pick us up. Hopefully. So we just got here to this island, and Warren Sr. was standing by this container. And me and Warren Jr. were over there, and we heard a rattlesnake, and it was coming from where he was standing. So he was standing right here where Warren is, and the rattlesnake was right here. And he was over here trying to get his contacts on and get out of the wind. And luckily, we heard the rattlesnake rattling because we weren't in snake hunting mode yet. But there he is. That was kind of scary because Warren had walked around here to get out of the wind to get his contacts in, and the rattlesnake, it was just coiled up right there, and they weren't really looking for rattlesnakes, and they had walked by here a couple times, and the rattlesnake, he was hidden, and so he felt okay, so he didn't rattle. And it wasn't until he felt not okay that he started rattling. And if he hadn't done that, we probably wouldn't have heard him. Or we wouldn't have known he was there if he hadn't rattled, because we sure weren't looking for him. And it wasn't like it wasn't a pygmy rattlesnake. This is a big Eastern Diamondback. This has just always been a really great place to find Eastern Diamondback rattlesnakes. And Eastern Diamondbacks are the largest rattlesnake species in the world. And they live right here in the Southeast. And they're gorgeous, gorgeous animals. But habitat destruction and people seeing these snakes, and it's a rattlesnake and must die, has really taken a toll on these snakes. This could have ended really badly because Warren Jr. couldn't see it. Warren Sr. couldn't hear it. I guess it's what you call hear no evil, see no evil. Well, we got a few pictures of him, and a beautiful snake, big snake, a fat snake, but it's time to let him go. You can barely see him going back in the hole there. And that's his hiding place, and it's a good one too.
can't see anything.
A bunch of skins.
Well,
I'm trapped.
but this is something that's interesting. From where that snake was over there, it's 40 feet to where y'all were over there, with a breeze blowing, and y'all could still hear his rattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can hear it off the building.
That's the first rattlesnake I've ever caught, just because I heard a rattlesnake rattling.
Always watch your hand down there.
Yes.
Yeah, if a snake strikes, you could crack your lens on your flashlight. That's an expensive light. Ow.
Oh, there's a body in there.
It definitely would qualify as a stupid move, looking in holes where we know.
Exactly, yeah, right.
One in there. He went in back in right here. Didn't he crawl in right here, Jason?
Yeah, on the front side, on the end, right there. Just put your hand in and see if you can feel of him.
Too much of a network of weeds. I'm sure he went back in there. Remember that shed that was out here that had all the snake skins in it?
Yeah,
Like hundreds of them.
it's a lot of them. I've always wondered if there's snakes under that container over there. Now I know there's at least one, but to be able to lift that up and see what's actually underneath there would be pretty cool. I'm strong, but I'm not that strong. So, you know, but the snakes under there, that's perfect hiding place because predators really can't get to them. So we're starting to hunt now. Warren Jr. is going that way. Warren Sr. is going to come with me. And we're just going to walk down this little levee here. See if we can find a snake. Or a second snake. We've already found one. Or one snake found us. That snake was definitely paying more attention than we were. You really got to be careful walking out here. Even though this is an open road, you can see where you're stepping. After walking for so long, your eyes kind of get used to everything, and you start
Warren was there, but Warren was in such a mess, you know, he couldn't.
Yeah, he couldn't see anything.
And I could see, but I couldn't hear, and I heard the word, but I was thinking, what is that?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if it was a rattlesnake. But your eyes kind of start playing tricks on you after staring at the ground for so long that you can be right on top of a rattlesnake before you see it out here. That stand of trees that's over there, it's a big open sandy field. And you walk around the edges of it, and we found rattlesnakes there before.
Okay, that's not where our headquarters is?
Our headquarters are those trees right straight here. That's a different island. Yeah. We just pulled up to those trees and hopped off. There's no dock there.
Okay.
But it was pretty easy. I've been coming to this spot for, how long have I been coming here? I think I first came to this area where we're finding these rattlesnakes today 14 years ago. And I've come almost every year in those 14 years. And I've never been and not found at least one rattlesnake. Some days we found a lot more than one rattlesnake. I've got Eastern Diamondback rattlesnakes that I keep, but there's just something about going out in their natural habitat and finding a wild Eastern Diamondback rattlesnake, or any kind of snake for that matter, and just watching how it behaves in its environment. And there's nothing like it. So if we don't find any more today, I'm all right with that. But if we do find more, then that'd be great too. So I'm just walking around this island thinking it's perfect habitat for snakes. And there's no doubt in my mind that there are rattlesnakes here. The problem is, well, this is not a problem for the snake. The problem for the snake hunter is this is so thick. So even if I saw a rattlesnake or any kind of snake, you know, 2 or 3 feet back in this, probably not gonna be able to get them out. You kind of have to get lucky and find the snake out and about, or at least on the edges here. And that's gonna be the easiest way to find a rattlesnake here, is when they're out, where they're easy to get to. But they're probably all right now where they're not easy to get to, which is why I haven't found a rattlesnake yet. But, well, except for the one that Warren almost stepped on. But we got a little ways to go. I think we'll find 1, 2, 3 more, I hope. If not, we found one, I'm happy with that. But maybe we'll find another. People don't ask me normally if I've been bitten by a venomous snake. They usually ask me, how many times have you been bitten? Well, I've never been bitten by a venomous snake. I've done this since I was about 7 years old. And I don't want to get bit. I have to make sure I'm paying attention, but don't ever want to get bit. That's never a good thing. But you certainly don't want to get bit out here, because we're on an island. It's going to take us a little while to get to medical attention. So it's really important out here to watch and pay attention where you're stepping, where you're putting your hands. And when I do catch a snake, I have to be extra careful so I don't get myself bit. So other than the people I came here with, there's nobody else here on this island. And that's pretty cool. So I'm on a deserted island with rattlesnakes. And sandwiches. Oh me. So every time I come out here, I always pack a lunch. And it's just nice to find somewhere in the shade like this. You've been walking around looking for snakes all morning. And sit down, have a ice cold bottle of water and a turkey sandwich.
Hadn't been anywhere where that used to be probably one of the most common snakes I found.
Yeah.
Particularly when we went east to Sylvania, Devon County, and they were pretty abundant there. No diamondbacks, all you had was cane snakes or timber rattlesnakes.
Rattlesnake. Got a diamondback right here, Warren. It's a big one too.
Stand by a second. Let me get ready. Let me get my eyes on him.
Laying right there.
Yeah,
You see him? See him facing us? And that's a big one. Look at how camouflaged the snake is right here. And this is that's easily a 4-foot diamondback. And he is so camouflaged, and I'm standing.
I think look how swollen he is. I mean, he's like he's, you know.
Starting to move now. Pull him out here real quick. Come here, snake. Here we go. So when the snake did start to move, he never rattled, except you hear the rattle because I'm messing with him. But he never rattled, and the first thing he did was try to get away and crawl away from me.
He's gonna go in this other side over here.
You know, he's not as upset as the other rattlesnake was. I guess you were
He's
stomping around too close to him.
acting like a cane brake trying to
Yeah.
scoot.
Yeah, so all this snake wants to do is just to be left alone. I mean, he was so camouflaged, and that's what I tell people, you know, the first line of defense for these snakes is not to rattle, but to use their camouflage. And once this snake realizes he's been spotted, then his number 2 best option is to escape, which is what he tried to do. And that's still what he's trying to do. He hasn't even gotten to option number 3, which is rattling yet. He hasn't tried to strike. And now this snake, if you look at his face, he's getting ready to shed, so he can't see really, really well. But he knows something's messing with him, and he don't want to be messing with him. That's pretty cool.
Hey, can you hear us?
Yeah.
We got another diamondback.
What side of the road is he on? Left or right?
The right.
He was on the right, just laying there. Jason saw him, and he still hadn't rattled. I mean, we pulled him out and all he wants to do is get away.
This snake has not rattled one time, and all it's doing is just trying to crawl and get away from us. So their first line of defense is not to bite or attack, but it's to use their camouflage. And that's what this snake did. I mean, you saw him sitting there perfectly hidden, and once he realized, hey, you know, I think this big thing sees me, his second line of defense was to crawl away. And he still has not rattled, and is still just trying to be left alone. This is a very dangerous snake when we don't do what we're supposed to do, which is not try to catch them like we're doing, definitely not trying to kill them, but when you don't pay attention when you're outside where they live, you can be right on top of one of these snakes, and that's how you get bit. Not because these snakes want to bite anybody, they simply just want to be left alone. So this rattlesnake that was laying right here, we pulled him out here, got some photos with him, messed with him, never really rattled, and we released him right back where we caught him. And instead of crawling off into this thick brush, oh, there he goes, he's rattling. It's about time. There he goes. one of my favorite things to do when I'm snake hunting is after I've found a few snakes, whet my appetite a little bit, is to just find a quiet place and just sit and listen and watch so a snake doesn't crawl out on top of your foot, but it's very relaxing. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful place out here. There's no people around, just wildlife and a few snakes. I love it. Love it. There's a bunch of alligators here too, and we normally see a lot of gators in the canal, which is right over here. But today was the first time I saw an alligator up on this levee. So to be able to come out here in the wild and easily find, well, just 2 rattlesnakes so far today, but I found twice as many as would make me happy. So I just wanted to find 1 rattlesnake. I have accomplished that. This trip was an absolute success. I love it. It is hot. When it gets too hot for me, it's too hot for the snakes. People think, you see all the bugs, all the yellow flies? Yeah, those things bite. So I've got bug spray on. There's no shade except for this towel in my hat. It is hot out here. We're waiting right now on the boat. And as soon as I get here, we're heading out. So lots of insects here. But that's fine. When it gets, people think snakes like heat, and it's because they're cold-blooded, you know, and that's kind of misleading. Snakes don't like cold weather. They don't like hot weather. They like it kind of like we like it, comfortable. So when it gets really hot out here in the sun, they go find a place in the shade to cool off, which is where the snakes are right now. So we did find 2 rattlesnakes and 18 million insects, which are all swarming me right now. I am extremely happy that we found 2 rattlesnakes, and not just 2 rattlesnakes, 2 Eastern Diamondbacks, and not just 2 Eastern Diamondbacks, 2 big, nice, fat Eastern Diamondbacks. So this has been a successful trip in my book, but it's time for the boat to be here and for me to have that nice coastal breeze blowing across my body. Get away, flies. How many snakes you find?
1 dead.
1 dead snake. What was it?
Orange snake. Big one.
You don't know why it was dead? Huh. Oh yeah.
Why are you attracting so many flies?
I guess I'm Lord of the Flies.